there's a lot of different experts out there when it comes to networking and relationship marketing and training and everything. And one of them is a gentleman by the name of Jordan Adler. He was one of the first individuals that I got to meet when I first started in this industry, almost 15 years ago, I guess it was. And I loved his book. His book, Beach Money, is it's simple. He just has a way of simplifying everything that we do into something that's digestible, something that you can share with people, and they just kind of get it, right? And it's like, oh, that's what this is all about. Okay, so I took 12 of the strategies from his book, Beach Money, and I put them into this presentation. Obviously get the book. It's great. It's a great read. It's not very long. It's kind of short and thin. You could get through it probably in a day or two. But he's got really good nuggets, really good insight into how to understand what it is that we do and how to share it with other people and some of the things you can be doing on a daily basis to make sure that you're creating that beach money. Now, what does the beach money mean? It's the idea of making money while you're sitting at the beach, right? Because most people, they earn money in a linear way. Most people trade their time for money, right? That's what we're trained to do from when we're really young. We're 16 years old. Let's go get a job. And what do? We get so much an hour, right? And that's just how we think we make money is by getting a job and either earning an hourly wage or a salary, right? A monthly salary. And we just trade our time and effort for money. But the way that the wealthy make money is that they actually create systems and they create money that is made not while you're actually at work, but you have assets and other things that create that wealth for you so you can make money even while you're sitting at the beach or while you're sleeping, right? Or other things. So that's the idea is that we need to be creating ways to create income or have income besides just trading our time for money. So beach money is that concept. It's I can be at the beach and I can be making money. I don't have to be at a job or an employment. Okay. So it starts with this concept of distribution versus sales too, right? Because a salesperson, and I've done sales, I sold computers, I've sold different things. And it's always a one-time thing, right? You can go door to door, knocking on doors, selling vacuums or selling, solar energy or whatever, but it's a sale, right? It's something that where you make the sale and you get paid once. So that's very similar to this, where you could get bottles of soda, you could put up a little store or something, and you buy them for wholesale and then you sell them at retail, right? So you buy them for $1, you sell them for $2. You can buy as many as you want and sell all you want, and you keep the profit. You keep the difference. That is sales. That's just the normal way that people in sales would make money. But it goes a step beyond that in distribution. So this is the idea where you buy a vending machine for $1,000, okay, and now what you're going to get is 10 cents for every single bottle or can of soda that is sold from that machine, right? Or the bag of chips or whatever it is. So, and the difference is really cool is okay, I buy that machine, $1,000, I place it. Now the company is going to maintain it, they're going to stock it. The only thing you have to do is buy the machine and promote it. That's it, right? And you're now making money on all those sales. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be present. Okay. All you have to do is get the word out, and people then come and they purchase it, and you're making money on all those sales, but you didn't have to be really involved. Okay. And the company is even maintaining it. All you had to do was just place it somewhere public and drive people to it. Okay. So that's kind of what we do with networking, right? Is the company that we represent, they handle all that stuff. They handle the stocking, they handle the shipping, they handle all those different things. All we have to do is just kind of promote it. Okay. So pretty nice. And that helps us if we can put a whole bunch of machines all over, right? A whole bunch of vending machines, then now we can multiply that and be making money. Okay. So the second thing is to really understand that difference between a passive income versus a linear income. And it comes down to our focus, of course, right? And so if our focus is just to get a raise at your job, you're not going to get beach money. If all you want is to just get a promotion at your job, yeah, it's not going to get you there, right? You can, okay, make a little bit more per hour, or you can make a little bit more per month as you get a promotion in your job or whatever, but you're still dependent on being there, right? You still have to show up to work to get that extra little bit. And then the moment you stop going to work, you stop getting paid, right? If you want financial freedom, you got to do what is necessary to get started with a new type of thinking, a new business. And we're not just going to read about it and plan it. We're going to take action. We're going to do it. Okay. So part of that is also then being connected. Because if we're going to drive traffic to our new business, our new asset, we have to be connected. We have to be social. We have to attract other people that are also very connected. Okay. And these people don't need help creating a team because they already have one. So if we can attract successful people, we can show them not just the distribution model, but everything else that's great with what we're doing, then they will come and it will be exponential and grow like crazy. So the best way to attract connected people is to be well connected ourselves, right? So we're going to also make sure our environment supports our cause. If you guys know the story of Jack Ma, he was, well, I think he probably isn't anymore, but I think he was the founder and executive chairman of the Alibaba Group, okay, which was basically the Amazon of China. And his story is amazing. He actually failed the college entrance exam twice, right? He got rejected from 30 jobs, including KFC, but then he became the richest man in all of China. And so it's really interesting how he did it by just studying what other people that were successful were doing. And he went out and became very connected. And he actually went out and surrounded himself with successful people. He studied successful people, right? He read the biographies about how people did it. And he got very well connected. So if we can do that, if we can spend time with people that think like us and that are having success already, we can become friends with great leaders on social media, notice what they do, and we can talk to our sponsor, our enroller, and ask them to introduce us to other successful people and hear how they present and do that kind of thing. We're going to be more successful. We're going to be more connected. But you got to put yourself out there. That's the bottom line. So the fifth thing is making friends with no hidden agenda, right? And so that means be a friend to everyone, not just to get them in your business, right? But to actually be friends, actually care about other people, actually be curious about what's happening in their lives and do things together besides just the business, right? So can you imagine having a friend that was making $10,000 in a business, but they didn't tell you about it, right? How would you feel if she could have invited you to be part of it, but never did, right? Wouldn't you be kind of like, hey, why didn't you tell me about that, right? I mean, we could have done that together. So we need to show real interest in people, share their successes and failures, know about their kids, their latest trips, etc. And when we talk about what we're doing with our business with friends and family, then they're going to be interested in wanting to know more without being defensive. Okay, because if you just come across cold and hey, come do business with me, they're going to be like, wait a second, what? What are you talking about? But if they know us and they like us and they trust us and we're friends and we've had parties together and we've done fun things, then they're going to be like, oh, okay, what is it you're doing? Tell me more about it. I'm open to hearing, and they won't put up that defensive wall. So that takes us to creating memories for you and others, right? The relationships are the glue that unites the team. When people are having fun, they'll stay. So we should be having parties, barbecues, dinners, and all kinds of other activities with our guests, right? If you don't have a big team yet, right? If it's just small and you only have a couple of people, that's okay. Put on a movie and get some pizza, but spend some time together. Get to know the people on your team, right? Don't just be through text message. Hey, are you jumping on the call? Right? Actually, take time to get to know people, and these are relationships that will last a lifetime and will last through different companies too. Because as we know, sometimes you have to move on from one company to another, but you can take your team with you, and that's awesome. And so you can see here's a picture that recently of an activity we did as a team. So those are the things that you remember, right? That you go back, oh yeah, these are people I want to hang out with. These are people I want to travel with. These are people I want to go, to trainings with, and you maintain that relationship not just because you're making money, but because you actually care about these people and want their success as well as your own. Then you're going to invest in yourself and others, right? So for every one person that you can get to go to an annual convention, you can duplicate your team by 100. It's super important to be part of that whole environment, because people can hear about something, they might see a presentation or whatever, but when they get to an event, they get to a big old convention and they feel the passion and the energy. Oh, it changes how you see things, right? And so in this case, Jordan saying, I did this by buying 2 tickets for 2 of my friends. Both of them later formed teams with thousands of people. I always dedicate 5% of my income for personal development, books, CDs, etc., for my team. And if you're feeling poor, that's okay. You know what? You have the library, you have thousands of classes and videos on the internet, and it's all free, right? So just make sure that you're helping your team to stay sharp, right? Get them trained. When it's time to get going, make sure they're onboarded correctly, right? Make sure they understand how it all works, how the platforms work, everything, back offices, all that stuff. Make sure that people know what's going on and they feel like they're part of it. Then we want to dream. We want to actually, you know, be so much more than what we're right now. If you're going to dream, dream big, right? Anyway, so as Jordan says, I know billionaires and I know millionaires. Something they all have in common is they have huge dreams and they talk about them. They don't hide it, right? They're not ashamed of it. They have magazines, they have pictures of the things that they want. They read the books and they listen to the audios and expand their vision. So you have to think about, what would your perfect life be like? How would it feel? What would you be doing? I don't know anyone who has ever built a big business that didn't have a clear vision of what they wanted their life to be like, right? And that goes back to our trainings on defining your why and the motivation behind it all. Then we go into the acting and the adapting, okay? Because a lot of times people come in thinking, oh, it's going to be so easy, right? What people think the success looks like is just kind of linear. Sure, let's go. But we all know after some trial and error that it's pretty messy, right? Things break, things don't go as you hoped, things, they fall through, and you have to kind of start over sometimes. So that's what success really looks like. It's really messy, and we're analytical, right? Most of us try and think logically, but success is not going to be logical. Majority of big success goes way beyond logic. In fact, this industry changes all the time, and success comes from how well we can adapt to the changes, right? And we need to do that. We need to make sure, that we don't get too disheartened when things collapse and things fall through. There's a lot of stopping and starting. There's a lot of roller coaster, lots of ups and downs, and sometimes we're in the down part, sometimes we're in the up part, but we just have to keep going. So the other thing that's super important is not just depending on technology. Okay, a lot of people do this, unfortunately, where they'll say, okay, I'm going to focus on creating this perfect funnel system and a whole website and a blog and whatever, and I'm going to create my YouTube channel or my TikTok channel or whatever it is, and they want to have everything perfect before they even go talk to a single person. Well, you know what? Your team comes first. Okay. Technology is good and it can help for sure. but nothing compares to just simply inviting someone to see a presentation and then hang out with you, right? That's really what it comes down to. So you can, I like to say using the technology is a great way for attraction, right? It's a great way to introduce and kind of filter a little bit from people who may or may not be good candidates. But in the end, you still have to talk to them, right? You still have to create that relationship. You still have to, be there for them as a leader and support and all those things. So, yeah, technology is great, but just remember, it doesn't compare to actually just picking up the phone and talking to somebody and explaining it. So, then we also have to be humble enough to accept help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Your enroller is there to help you, and the team is there so you can work together because there are too many things to do it alone, right? So let's utilize the talents of each member of the team. Some members of the team are great at just organizing the potluck, right? And getting people to bring some food to the meeting. Other people are great at creating a PowerPoint. Other people are great at, sending out text messages. It just depends, right? There's so many different talents and abilities that we all have and all can share that make us so much more as a team than just what you could do individually. So definitely don't be afraid. Don't be nervous to say, "Oh, I'm not good at presenting, so why would my leader want to talk to me?" No, no, you everybody has something to offer. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for help. And then finally, a simple, consistent message. Right? We want to get some customers. We want to get some promoters. We help the promoters do the same thing, do this, and the company sends you money. And it really is that simple. You don't have to complicate it. You don't have to be like this guy in the picture where you got a whole system just to put toothpaste on a toothbrush, right? It doesn't have to be that way. So let's just keep it simple. That's all we're trying to do. Find some customers. Some of them might want to also be promoters and do the business with you. So if they do, great. Work with them to do the same thing. And next thing you know, you're going to start to amplify and build that portfolio. And next thing you know, the company's going to send you more and more money. So that is those are the 12 things that I got out of his book. But again, there's so much more in that book. Highly recommend go get it. I think you can find it for less than $10 on Amazon. Really, really good, Jordan Adler. But thanks everybody for jumping on today. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll just keep plugging away like Jordan is teaching us here. We'll go through the dips, we'll go through the valleys, we'll get to the top eventually. And thanks for being part of the team. I appreciate all of you, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody. We'll be in touch.
Hey, Jeremy.